iHeart, get ready. Fantasy football is here. Welcome to the Scout Fantasy Show. ScoutFantasy.com is home to the Fantasy Football World Championships and the best players in the world. Real money winners giving their secrets to help you win. Now exclusively on iHeart. This is the Scout Fantasy Show with your host, the one, the only, Dr. Roto.
Dr. Roto, get out the insurance cards, get out the copay. The office is open, my friends. It is time for the Boston Red Sox Fantasy in a Nutshell preview. So I think you all know this. I am not a Red Sox fan, but I am married to a Red Sox family. My father-in-law is the biggest Red Sox fan alive. My brother-in-law loves the Red Sox. My wife says she likes the Red Sox, but when I ask her to name me 3 people on the team, she can't. But I guess, what can I argue? It's her family's team. The Red Sox are down here in Fort Myers, Florida, where I live, so I actually go to a lot of the games. The stadium is absolutely, outrageously beautiful. JetBlue Stadium is a wonderful place to watch a spring training game, and I will be out there a few times this year. When I'm there, I'll be tweeting what I'm seeing, and I always see something good. Whether it's a Red Sox or whether it's another guy in another team. This year, I know I'm seeing the Yankees and the Astros. I know I'm seeing a third team as well, but we'll have to figure that out. But let's get to the Red Sox. Christian Vasquez is the catcher, and this guy's not sexy. Not a sexy name, but he doesn't suck. It's about 290. I mean, the average is good. So I think with the catcher, you're looking for a guy. Last year, guy hit 290, 5 home runs. Not too much power, not too much speed, but the average isn't going to kill you. So, look, I always think the Red Sox are looking for more options, but there never seems to be any better options, so they go with Christian Vasquez. I like Blake Swihart. I think they need to trade Swihart. He needs to get out of there. And I think if he went to some other team, he might be pretty good. But right now, I just don't think he's ever going to get the opportunity in Boston. At first base, the problem is they've got a couple of guys who I like, but they go with Mitch Moreland. And Mitch Moreland signed a 2-year deal in the offseason, got $13 million, 2 years, $13 million, to be average. He's going to hit 20 home runs. He's going to hit 70 RBIs. He's going to hit against righties. Can't hit a lefty to save his life. And in some crazy world, if you put Hanley Ramirez out there against lefties and Moreland out there against righties, the Red Sox can get it done. However, if they sign J.D. Martinez, which I think is a big if right now, Martinez has to play somewhere. Is he going to play first? Is he going to play outfield? Is he going to play DH? How does it shake out? I don't think he plays the outfield. So if he plays DH, I don't know. Does Moreland sit? Does Hanley sit? These guys can be platoon players. So I would be very careful until we know what J.D. Martinez is doing. We don't know what to do with Mitch Moreland. Hanley Ramirez, this is a guy who's always injured, always dealing with a shoulder injury. I mean, look, they brought this guy over to be a masher, and he came over because Big Papi, David Ortiz, knew he was retiring, right? So he wanted to bring Hanley in, and they played together for a year. But let me tell you this. I know David Ortiz, and Hanley Ramirez is no David Ortiz. Let me just share that with you 100%, okay? 100%. So, I don't know. Hanley's like a 20 home run guy, 70 RBIs. That's what you're looking at between these guys. Nothing special. I like this kid, Sam Travis. He looked good when he played last year. Is he the first baseman of the future? Yeah, but he's 24 years old. The future might be now. But they're not going to. They just signed Moreland for 2 years, so I don't think they replace him with Sam Travis. So the Red Sox just signed Eduardo Nunez to a 1-year contract, and they had to do that. Had to do that because Dustin Pedroia is out until at least, I say, June. He had knee surgery. He's going to miss the first couple of months of the season. This is a guy whose stats are okay. He's on a downward spiral here at 34 years old. People will draft Pete Pedroia, but you know what? Will he hit 300? Maybe. 10 home runs? Maybe. 50 RBIs? Maybe. No speed? Yeah. What is that worth to me? I mean, seriously. So I look at guys like Pedroia, and I say to myself, well, they go higher than they should because of their name recognition. But Pedroia's not, I don't think he's worth anything this year. $1? $2? I mean, the guy's not going to play till June. When he comes back after knee surgery, do you see him stealing bases? Because I certainly don't. The guy only steals about 3 or 4 anyway, so let's give him 0. If he's getting 7 to 10 home runs in a full season, what is he going to get in a half season? 5? So what am I getting here? To say I got Justin Pedroia in my draft? No thanks. Now, Eduardo Nunez to me is way more interesting as a player. The guy's got a little power and he's got a lot of speed. So long as his knee is healthy, this guy should steal 20 bases. And the beauty of a Nunez in signing him is that he could lead off for the Red Sox, which allows Mookie Betts to hit down in the lineup, which is what I want to see. See, I want to see Nunez at 1. I don't want to see Mookie Betts at 1. But Mookie might end up being the number 1 hitter. We'll have to watch that. Speaking of guys who have inflated draft positions, but the stats don't confirm it, how about Xander Bogaerts? I'm going to give you something here. I love doing this. I used to do this when I was on SiriusXM Fantasy Sports Radio all the time. All right, player 1. Are you ready? I'm going to write this down. 289, 13, 75, 15, 90. Okay? Player number 2. 270, 12, 70, 15, 70. You with me? So player 1 hits 289, 13 home runs, 75 RBIs, 15 stolen bases, and 90 runs scored. Player number 2 is hitting 270, 12 home runs, 70 RBIs, 15 stolen bases, and 70 runs scored. Player number 1 is Xander Bogaerts. Player number 2 is Jorge Polanco. Yeah. Now, let's confirm something here. I'm going to show you something. In the labor draft, one moment, please. Please hold. Thank you for holding. Let me see the draft board here. Where does Bogaerts go? Bogaerts goes in round 5. Round 5. Right? And where does my boy Jorge Polanco go? Round 15. Are you kidding me? For a little better batting average and a few more runs scored? Is that worth 10 rounds? That just shows you how inflated Xander Bogaerts is. Now look, maybe if you draft Bogaerts, you're saying to yourself, he could hit 20 home runs. It's possible. I don't see that. I don't think it's probable. I think he's somewhere around 17 or 18 home runs. But so could Jorge Polanco. So, easy peasy, guys. Don't go there. I'd much rather have Jorge Polanco 10 rounds later. No doubt in my mind on that one. All right, third base. So let's talk about something in fantasy baseball. Everybody loves to get the rookie early. But the rookie early doesn't always pay off. So Rafael Devers, really good player. Really good. And I think in 5 years, this guy could be an all-star. Got power galore. But he's 21. He's had 200 at-bats in the major leagues. Why are we drafting him like he's a 35 home run hitter? In a dynasty league, I want this guy all day. But in a redraft league, am I going to win with him? Only if I have a really good team around him. So be careful getting your stud rookie too early. I want the rookies too, but you don't win one that. So let me give you an example here. Right? And I like Devers. A lot. But I'll give you a guy. One moment, please. What if I told you Todd Frazier? Let's use Todd Frazier for the Mets. Todd Frazier going to have 25 home runs, 80 RBIs, some runs scored. Right? Now, he's also going to hit 220, which stinks. Really stinks, by the way. So, I mean, that's not worth that much. But the rest of the numbers are pretty much the same. So let's take a look at labor. If I can get to it. Why can't I get to this draft board? What am I asking for? Hello? Thank you. Let's load. I'm doing a podcast here. Don't be selfish. Todd Frazier, round 16. Devers, round 8. Similar numbers, except Devers has a better batting average. Seriously. That's what you're paying for. That's a big premium. All right, in the outfield, I love me some Andrew Benintendi. I don't like me some Benintendi. I love me Andrew Benintendi. You want to take him in the 3rd round, you have my absolute permission. Not that you needed my permission, but I'm giving it to you anyway. The guy's coming in jacked this year. He's jacked. He's ready to go. And you know what? He's bulked up. I think he could go 25-25 this year. Love this kid. Still hasn't learned how to hit lefties yet, but when he does, you're going to love this kid. In right field, Mookie Betts. Now, let me tell you something about Mookie, okay? Last year, I went to spring training, and Mookie was mashing. Gets up to the majors, can't get a hit. For the first couple of months, cannot get a hit. I know that sounds crazy. I'm going to go to his game log here. Let's see. Average, right? As of, it's like, where were we? Up until like June, he's hitting 260. But then Mookie Betts started to play better baseball. And this is a guy in a bad year, which I would call last year a bad year, by the way. 264, 24 home runs, 102 RBIs, 101 runs scored, and 26 stolen bases. What if he's better this year, which he should be? He's 25. What if he goes 30 home runs and 30 stolen bases and hits 280? You know what you'd be calling him? Another player like Mike Trout. I love Mookie Betts. Best part of Mookie Betts, really? I think you could get him as like the 9th or 10th pick in a draft. He went 9th in labor. Great pick. Loving him. I would have taken Betts over Stanton. 10 times out of 10, I'm taking Betts over Stanton because I want the speed. I'm not saying Stanton's not a good player, but I want the speed. All right, in center field, Jackie Bradley Jr. He had 26 home runs in 2016. It dropped to 17 in 2017. The power dropped, the average dropped. I think we're going to see about 20 home runs from him, 70 RBIs, and about 12 stolen bases. But what you really love about Jackie Bradley Jr. is his defense. He is that good. Go YouTube him. Go YouTube Jackie Bradley Jr., and you'll see what I'm talking about. It is unreal. Speaking of unreal, I'm going to work my way backwards here. Craig Kimbrell, unreal numbers. 1.43 ERA, 0.68 whip, 126 strikeouts in 69 innings. That's unheard of. I watched this guy pitch in the spring. He was throwing 97 in the spring. That's how good this guy is. And with their starting pitching staff, with Kimbrell as a closer, they're great. Now, I don't love the bullpen. Kelly and Barnes and Thornburg and Smith and Johnson. It's okay. It's not special. But the starting staff is pretty darn good. So let's talk about their starting staff. It all begins and ends with Chris Sale. Chris Sale had 308 strikeouts last year. That's an obscene number. That's an obscene number. I don't ever think I want my pitchers pitching 200 innings, and I'd love to see Chris Sale throw a few innings. I'd love to see him throw maybe like 190. That'd be a good number for him. So maybe his strikeouts go down to 250. I'm okay with that. I'll let it go. He's still an amazing pitcher. Now look, I don't like starting my teams with a starting pitcher in the first round. I really don't. But if I'm going to do it, I think I'm going to do it with Kershaw and Sale. I won't do it with Scherzer, and I won't do it with Kluber, but I will do it with Kershaw and Sale. I think they're just the best two pitchers by far. So if I'm looking here, would I take Sale over Machado? You betcha. Absolutely. Would I take Sale over Stanton? I probably would. I like Sale. I think I'd take him at the end of the first round. David Price is a very interesting guy because last year he dealt with elbow injuries and he was radioactive. Nobody wanted to touch him. But the truth is, he didn't have surgery. He got better and he came back and he pitched well. So he's down here in Florida now. He's ramping up for the season. He says he feels good. Now here's the deal. If he throws 170 innings this year, he could be stellar. But if he was out by July and done for the year, it wouldn't shock me either. So which David Price are you getting? I don't know that answer. I know that it's worth a 10th round pick. I took David Price in round 10. I already had Paxton, Berrios, and Luke Weaver. So as my fourth guy, I have no problem there. I don't want David Price as my second guy, but I do want David Price as my fourth guy. If he's good, I may win the league. If he's bad, so I'll find another dude. You know what I'm saying? All right, Rick Porcello. Let me give you a quick Dr. Rotoism for you. One of my very simple things when I look at pitchers, and I explained this to you in one of my previous podcasts, the first thing I look at is innings pitched and then hits. He had 236 hits to 203 innings by Bye, Felicia. I'm never putting you on my team. Ever. That's a stay away number. Stay away. I know the walks are good to strikeouts. I don't like guys who are that hittable. He let up 38 home runs last year. I am staying away. I expect that you would do the same. Now, Drew Pomeranz is interesting. If Drew Pomeranz was with the Milwaukee Brewers, he'd be their number one pitcher. If he was with the Padres again, he'd be their number one pitcher. But in the Red Sox, he's like their number 4 guy. So everybody overlooks Drew Pomeranz. What does he do? 170 innings? 3.3 ERA? 170 strikeouts? What's not to like? Guy's a good pitcher, and you're going to get him very late in drafts. Let me see. Drew Pomeranz. Please hold. There you go. Round 16. Round 16 for Drew Pomeranz. That's a steal. It's a steal. And finally, Eduardo Rodriguez, who's going to be out with, he's recovering from knee surgery. I think he's absolutely a guy you can get late in your draft, and somebody took him in round 21. I love that. I love that pick. This guy comes up in July, pitches 3 months. He could be sensational. That is a sensational pick at the end of your draft. Pomeranz, Rodriguez, late in your draft. Lock it in, visionary style. You know what else I want you to lock in? A place playing me in our Draft Champions League. $88. The 88s. 4-hour time clock. Beat Dr. Roto. www.playffwc.com. Go there now. Play the Scout 88s. Best part is this. Firstly, season's done September 2nd. Secondly, there's no waivers during the year, just up and down. It couldn't be any easier. Thirdly, you might be able to beat me in baseball because you're not beating me in football. I'll tell you that right now. Baseball's the only one where I have a chink in the armor. Only because I'm starting to get ready for football in July, where there's no chink and no armor because I'm the best. Just throwing it out there. Just saying it. Just mentioning it in case you were listening. All right, but right now I want to put away the insurance cards, put away the copay. The office is closed, my friends. Firstly, I want you guys to go to scoutdfs.com. Check out what we have there, DFS Hockey. I think we're going to give you a free hockey look over the weekend. Steve Renner has been on fire with hockey this year, so please check that out, and I know that you'll be glad that you did. All right, guys, this is Dr. Roto wishing you a great weekend. Back on Monday with so much more. Be well. Take care.
Thanks for listening to the Scout Fantasy Show. There's never been a better time to join the Scout Army. Visit scoutfantasy.com. Use the promo ROTO for 2 months free. And don't forget, fantasy players, please thumbs up the podcast on the iHeart app. See you next time. Go Scouts!